I think one thing which I've seen is that the way services are offered in the past and the way the services are offered today.
Yeah.
Because one of the significant changes we already spoke about is the as a service model.
Right.
You know, today when we say service, so they want service also as a service.
What does that mean? Welcome to Ofofo studio. My guest for today is Prasanna Kumar. Prasanna is the CEO of Axiom. Axiom provides services for cloud and security. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
And Prasanna has been leading them for a while. And I'm going to talk to him about how key things can be automated for small businesses as well as large enterprises. Prasanna, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Angad.
Why did you think this was a problem to go after?
Because naturally we are seeing that technology is taking the pace, and then we are also seeing businesses are trying to catch up for their own differentiation purpose. And today time and cost are the limited resources we have.
Correct.
So we got to do something about it.
Yeah.
So then we felt let's do something there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Prasanna, I'll delve into your own personal journey as well.
Yep.
So I know that you've worked with a lot of IT services giants in the past. Then you broke off to start an entrepreneurship venture of your own.
Yes.
And then you came back to the IT services industry with some experiences that you must have collected in the way.
Yes.
Can you go into those a little? Or let's start with what was your first job? What was your first job like?
So my first job was, I'm a JNT alumni to start with, and then I joined Wipro from the campus. So my journey was all in telecom. So these were the times when there was this internet revolution happening.
Right. What year was this roughly?
This was 2000.
2000. Okay.
Yeah. So this was the same time when mobile were getting introduced. So there was a lot of buzz around mobile data services. So we were working that evolution part. We have seen it right from the beginning. Fortunate to see that. And today we are seeing altogether the usage part of it.
Right.
So that time we were thinking about social engineering problems and all that.
Correct.
Now it's there. Yeah.
So, are there like some predictions that you made early on that you are seeing come true now?
Yeah, absolutely, because we have seen whatever we thought that the social engineering problems, those were predicted. It is not that it's a surprise to us.
Yeah.
We were sure that people are going to get accustomed to this mobiles, handsets.
Correct.
People are going to get get glued to the computers.
Right.
And today it's a reality.
It is. And like not just people, but also companies. Like they would have seen a lot of challenges that have cropped up in the last 10, 15 years, right? What are some of the key challenges that you were able to identify? And what are you doing now to mitigate them?
Yeah. Like I said, since I've also seen my entrepreneur journey, and I've seen a lot of other businesses also.
Okay.
So what we have not predicted well is the impact of these technologies on the businesses.
Right.
So businesses, if you leave out that Fortune 500 companies, if you look at the rest of the businesses, they were not prepared. They were not even thinking about this kind of pace of technology evolution.
Correct.
They were thinking that something is happening.
Yeah.
They were busy with their own business problems and all that, but the technology has caught up so much. Now it is so overwhelming for them to understand, because on the other side, the business challenges are also overwhelming for them. So now for them to catch up with the technology and use it for their business differentiation is a real challenge.
Correct.
And from the technology side, what I see is that the technology has taken too fast a pace.
Correct.
Now these guys are completely detached on the business problems.
Right.
So they try to pitch in their solutions, but not completely understand the business case.
Correct.
I mean, it may not be true for everybody, but if you see, that is a gap that is still to be bridged.
Right.
So that is where we want Axiom to play a role, to help businesses grow, because we see value when the people grow, when the organizations grow, and something becomes unicorn. So therefore, Axiom want to play that role, for the companies, who want to grow using technology as a differentiation.
Absolutely. So, Prasanna, most businesses, they want to focus on their core competency.
Right.
They love doing what they are best at.
Yes.
But there are a lot of things that are necessary to be done.
Yes.
But either they don't have the bandwidth for it, or they don't have the capabilities.
Yes.
Is there a fit over there that Axiom can fulfill? Are there things that you can take care of so that they can focus on their core competency?
Absolutely. Because we see that, for example, if we take the cloud and security solution, which is our core in Axiom. So when I go and talk to business people saying that I have a cloud solution, I have a security solution, it makes no sense to them. They say, what is it for me? Then we say, so what is your business? So what is your vision for your business? What problems you have? So what challenges you have in terms of controlling your costs? So what do you spend on the IT infrastructure? What exactly you want the technology to play a role for you? Now they say, they may not term it in a technology sense. They say, I have this problem, that problem. Now what Axiom does is we stop pitching things as a cloud and security solution provider. We said, we will make sure that technology is put in good use to create a business value. And we say, we are offering this as a service to you. So we are not like upfront any cost for you. So today you see all the software has moved into as a service model. So people are no more ready to invest on the infrastructure or any software or any application today, but they only want to use it as a service. Because it makes eminent sense from the business side also to spend on things after usage. So there's no more upfront involvement required. So therefore Axiom, today we are talking about building all these cloud and security services as a solutions. So to the businesses, and we are not pitching the solutions as a technology friend, we are saying as a business model, we are pitching this. So CIO as a service is something which we are creating the differentiation for the businesses unlike anybody. And then we are automating all these cloud and security offerings so that businesses do not worry about what in it is there. So it is our worry to ensure that we give the latest and best, whether it is generative AI, whether it is ML, whether it is cloud. So it is relevant to your business, it is needed. If it is not relevant to your business, forget it.
Absolutely. Can you take me through some of the solutions that you offer to these businesses?
Like one of the thing, as I said already, CIO as a service is something which we are taking to the businesses. So we start with the startups and SMB enterprises. So we go to them and we say, take this as a service, because we have seen one of the fundamental mistakes that are happening with the businesses is that they start with an application. So somebody comes and sells them an ERP. Somebody comes and sells them a CRM. Now these guys are not prepared to use this application. Now they don't know how to deploy it. Even if they deploy it, their processes are not matching as per the applications. So all these gaps are there. So therefore these businesses, we are telling them, don't start with an application. Start with your business. You get a CIO onto your board. Let them evaluate your business. Let him suggest you what should be done at this time. It is not always that you have to buy a Salesforce, you have to buy a SAP or anything, because your scale of business, where you are in that that entire cycle journey. So there are some solutions that are relevant to you, some solutions are not relevant to you. People talk about AI, maybe it is not relevant to you at this point in time of your business. Maybe you have to prepare for that. So we say, hire a CIO and take it as a service. We know we don't need to afford CIO completely in-house. So therefore at Axiom, we are trying to tell them, take CIO as a service, start with that, and he will guide you what is required for your business, and he will tell you what applications are required, he will tell you how to deploy, and then we come up with the solutions for them.
Got it. So ideally, the way I understand it, ideally you would want any company to come to you before they even start developing an application. Right? But I'm sure the reality is very different. Right? At what stage do companies come to you asking for your services?
There are three categories of company we look at right now. So one are startups, one are the small medium businesses which are already in the flow, already using some applications, or maybe they are using, they are not using, and there are these large enterprises. So large enterprises are very clear, they have a clear vision about where they want to use the technology, where to go and everything. So but basically we try to augment them with the services that they need. So somebody only comes and asks us, provide us some cybersecurity services. Somebody comes, asks us, okay, we have a team, IT team inside, we have our CIOs, we have our CDOs who can take care of all this business, but we want some resources to complement their efforts. So with the larger enterprises, the game for companies like Axiom is that we augment their efforts in terms of doing things, because what is the differentiation that we bring to the table for these enterprises is that our visibility to a wider domain, our visibility to wider clients. So the problems that we see, because as a single enterprise, you may not have seen those, because we see problems from fintech, we see problems from healthcare, we see problems from all kinds of businesses. And therefore our knowledge about the diversity of these problems gives us an edge in terms of identifying the problems and providing the solutions. So, and that we augment the CIOs and CTOs of the companies of a particular enterprise. So we always say, while we understand that you want to have an internal team, no dependencies with outsiders, but it is always a good thing to bring in the people who have seen a wider picture than what you guys have seen in terms of enterprise.
Yeah.
And then we are also specializing in those areas,
Right.
and because therefore we see that is one area where we have the larger enterprises. And when we come to the small and medium enterprises, they have already deployed applications, so they want integration problem. They have a lot of integration
Yeah.
problems,
Yeah.
so they keep struggling with those. Kabhi yahan fix kiya, then there is other problem.
Yeah.
If they fix there is another problem.
Yeah.
So it's always the problems rather than creating a value out of the technology.
Makes sense, yeah.
Now they are trying to catch up with the technology to make it real use. Somebody give up.
Yeah.
Somebody says we'll see later.
Yeah.
So we say today in the digital era, this is no more an option. Today, the moment you stop because of these challenges, then I said we are risking our own business because we may not be relevant in the next 5-10 years.
Sure.
So therefore, it is no more an option, guys. So just face this challenge, solve it, and we are there. People like Axiom, we come in, we try to understand the entire. We do the assessment, and we will not start with giving another solution and create another integration problem. Rather, we try to create a complete solution ground up. So we do a self-assessment first with whatever you have, and then from there we take the show. But whereas startups, we have an advantage
Yeah.
because they have not started anything. They are sitting on an idea,
Yeah.
and then we plug in with them and say, these areas we take care. You focus on your core application or core business problem, whatever you are taking up as a startup, and then we start guiding you from the day one.
Makes sense.
So therefore, we are pitching in our services at a different level. For startups at the starting stage, for the small and medium at the center stage, and then for the enterprise at the advanced stage, with the specific services.
Got it.
This is how we go about things.
Beautifully explained.
Yeah.
I mean, doing all of this would require, if you are a professional or a specialist in any domain, it would require you to keep yourself updated with everything that is going on in that domain, right? In that industry.
Right.
And at the same time, while running a company, that would also require you to build a team or have people in your team who specialize in the things that you're providing services for.
Yeah.
So 2 questions, Prasanna. How do you stay on top of everything that is happening? And how do you go about building a team or nurturing a team to have those skill sets and to be on top of things constantly?
So to answer the first part, see, on the domain side,
Yeah.
we are not building any expertise there.
Right.
So I'm not going to keep an up-to-date ideas about what is happening in that domain.
Yeah.
But what we do definitely is that we as a technology provider, so we sit with the domain experts of the businesses. We try to understand from them. So we take their vision statements,
Got it.
we take their challenge statements, we see what they are thinking about the business, because we feel that one solution does not fit all and everybody has their own specific thing.
Right.
So therefore our journey starts with their statements. So the domain experts, the business experts, whoever it is, so we sit with them, we don't talk technology to them, we ask questions. So we say, what is that you want to achieve, using technology? Or at least you tell us what is your vision about the business. So technology, we can give you ideas about how do we go about it. So therefore that part of the problem is solved.
Right.
So the second part about our technology, about the people.
Yeah.
So our Axiom team is completely focused on automating things. Why do we automate? Because today there is no time, to build things, because the options are humongous, and there is no point, we trying to reinvent the wheels. Today in the ChatGPT generations,
Yeah.
you just prompt it, you get it.
Right.
So what is that there to build? So therefore the entire thing is coming to the prompting part of it. So we prompt ourselves and see, because of our wider applications of our solution to various clients and from our past 10-15 years of experience. So we know few things are repetitive in our own technology implementation part. So therefore we are trying to automate most of that. So what it does to the clients, one, it gives the speed, and also it saves cost because we are running these automation tools, and then therefore we don't need to deploy people time and again and try to do things. So my people are completely focused on automating the technology solutions. So we are not a application development company,
Right.
but we are an acceleration platform wherein we try to accelerate the technology part. So Axiom, except for application development, rest and all we take care. So when I say rest and all we take care, right from the infrastructure, the architecture, everything we take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful thing that you brought up over there, Prasanna, which is automation. I think the biggest change, like, that's according to me, like for you, it will be very difficult, but very different. But if you're comparing how services were given in the past, by past, I mean like, last 20 years or so, to how they are provided now, there is that significant element of automation that customers also ask for and that providers also try to integrate because it saves time and effort for both the parties. Right? How have you seen automation tools evolve as part of your experience? Because you've seen it with and without, right?
Yes.
So are there any differences or comparisons that you can bring up?
I think one thing which I've seen is that the way services are offered in the past and the way the services are offered today.
Yeah.
Because one of the significant changes we already spoke about is the as a service model.
Right.
Today when we say service, so they want service also as a service.
What does that mean?
What does it mean? Because you need to productify your service offerings.
Got it.
So therefore, when you productify your service offering, then it becomes a product as a service.
Correct.
Now that becomes a service as a service. So basically what it means to say is that they do not want services. The businesses are not looking for services alone. They are looking for business results.
Correct.
They are talking ROI. So they want, what are you going to give me in terms of ROI? So
Yeah.
they are talking ROI. What are in terms of saving my costs,
Right.
upfront costs, So what services you are giving is not my question, what value you are giving is my question.
Correct.
So therefore today the way services are being rendered is by productizing them. People want to, services are like we cannot touch and feel,
Absolutely.
But when you productify it and say, okay, this is a product, under this we are offering these services. Now you feel as if you are buying a product.
Right.
So that productifying of the services is the key that is happening today. Like Ofofo marketplace, that is what you guys are trying to do.
Absolutely.
Offer these services as a products,
Yeah.
and we are very happy for that. And even XOps platform is a model of similar kind.
Take me through that. Take me through XOps. Like, can you just briefly summarize what it's all about?
Like as I explained you, XOps is an automation platform. Basically, what we want to do with XOps is that we don't want to go to the business and say, tell us about your IT infrastructure,
Right.
tell us about what is happening inside, what does it cost. We said you don't need to tell us anything. You deploy this XOps, so it will understand what is the situation currently. Basically, at the first level, it does the basic security posture assessment.
Okay.
It understands what you are spending on the cloud. So it gets a basic report. It shows what vulnerabilities are there.
Nice.
Even before you tell us anything, it does its job and it gives the first-hand report.
Wow.
And from there, we tell you what has to be done. Now, its job is eased on both sides because the businesses don't need to worry to what to tell them,
Correct.
where to tell them, how to
Yeah,
start from where.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that platform does it for you. And now as a technology provider, we know what to fix.
Right.
Where to fix, where the value can be created to the client because we see there is a gap here.
Got it.
So XOps platform is the glue, the technology glue between the business and technology, and it automates most of the part. Today we are at the assessment stage. Tomorrow we are going to do auto fixes. We are going to auto configure things so that things will be more faster and more easy.
Nice. So it basically just takes care of the self-assessment questionnaire part as well.
Yes, absolutely.
It gives you a true understanding of what their
Absolutely.
infrastructure is like, even without them telling you.
Absolutely.
That's very powerful, Prasanna.
Yep.
Let's switch tracks.
Okay.
And let's talk about your entrepreneurial journey. There was a big part in the middle between your professional journey so far, where you had an a preneur of your own.
Yes.
What was that about? What was that into?
So this was a family business of mine.
Okay.
So after my 10 years of stint in Wipro and all that, so then I felt, this is a time that, we take care of some entrepreneur journey as well.
Right.
So one of that is a building a brand for ourselves for an athleisure product.
Okay.
So we were a manufacturers. So we have developed our own brand. So it's not like we are not manufacturing, giving a white label. So this was like that entire piece where we are trying to develop a brand, create our sales channels, taking it to the customer, understanding the customer feedback, and trying to improve our product. So it is like any big brand, whatever they do, we are doing it in a scale limited to South India.
Nice.
So, and we are like first South India athleisure brand, proudly, because people only know Nikes and Pumas, but
Absolutely.
there are brands like, which are proud because today we talk about 15 exclusive outlets in South India and growing
Wow.
strong.
Wow.
So sooner or later, we will see at a scale also. So my journey in entrepreneurship was very clean and clear. There are a lot of lessons I have learned there because it's a family-grown business. So we had to have this investments.
Right.
That is where everything starts. So we start with raising. Everybody says raise from family and friend and do something. I said that's all bullshit. I said, see, businesses cannot be done like that. That is my first lesson. Businesses have to be thought in the entirety. For example, you have a vision.
Right.
You have to have investment for the entire vision. You cannot have first step of the vision and think that something will come in the second.
Absolutely.
So therefore, my advice to startups was always from this lesson, whatever journey, because it took a lot of struggle, because now you lose focus on the core vision, what you wanted, then you start handling all this. So that's where you lose time.
Right.
So why some businesses can be turn around in 2 years, and why some businesses take 20 years. The only difference is the investment. So you start with a wrong investment, you end up struggling. Therefore, it goes nowhere. So therefore, we say to the startups that have a clear vision of what you want to do. Only try for the investment without getting the investment. Don't even venture into it.
Got it.
So there's no point.
Yeah, got it. So, were there any learnings that you could apply from your stint working with larger companies to when you got to be an entrepreneur? Were there any learnings over there from to the entrepreneurship journey? And the second part is, were there any learnings that you took from your stint as an entrepreneur to your time now at Axiom?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot, because they both are like disconnected.
Correct.
Because I've seen both sides. Because when I was in IT, I was thinking that why businesses do not take it, man. What is the problem with them? When we are giving solutions, why don't they adopt it?
Yeah.
And now after I went into the business, then I said, why these IT guys do not understand the business problems, man? What are they talking about? So this was like that kind of experience I had on both sides. So therefore, that gives me an edge to understand the problems from both sides. So it has always been that we wanted, businesses have no time to understand technology, I'll tell you. Unless there is a guy with a vision to use technology. Because businesses are businesses today, whatever domain it is. So technology, they need help. Not that they don't want to use technology, just that there's no right guidance to them to use it. And there's no ROI being promised to them. People say there will be an ROI. They said after cloud has come, costs will go down, but costs have gone up. Now they don't know why. They don't know why. They say upfront cost can be saved, but the operational costs have gone high. Now they don't know why. Now we say, see, this is all the problems. Then businesses don't have time to understand why.
Absolutely.
They have a lot of problems to solve of how. So therefore, people like Axiom, those lessons I've taken. So for Axiom now, I'm very crystal clear. Like, we talk business problems in their language, understand it, translate it into a technology problem and solve it, and give it back them as a business solution.
Perfect.
So that is what is the learning on both sides, and which I inculcated into this.
Is there anything on the future roadmap for you, Prasanna, for you and for Axiom?
See, we believe in startup and SMBs, becoming big. Because today we talk about a lot of startups and some unicorns. This is no different for the companies also. It's not always that we want to service a larger enterprise. Of course, we will service large enterprises at a service level, but the real kick of this entire business is helping these guys to grow big, because in their growth, we see our growth, and we know as a technology partners, that is what we want to achieve for Axiom, and that is what we want to help this companies, to grow. That is what is our vision for people.
Beautiful.
Prasanna, how can companies get in touch with you? How do they reach out to you?
We have a beautiful website. So please visit axiomio.com. So there we are there. So I think you guys can come there, put your queries there. So we'll get in touch with you. Don't try to reach out to us, because we want to reach out to you, but we are not finding the ways and means. But we'll be very glad to receive any inbounds and get back to you and understand. We are in the business of growth, not just technology. So we use technology for people to grow.
Absolutely. Prasanna, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for all of those learnings.
Thanks, Angad. Thanks.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thanks.